Endometriosis is a silent, invisible war fought by millions of women worldwide. It's a condition where tissue similar to the lining inside the uterus decides to grow outside of it. This misplaced tissue acts as it would inside the uterus. It thickens, breaks down, and bleeds with each menstrual cycle. But unlike menstrual blood, which has a clear path to exit the body, this internal bleeding has nowhere to go. It becomes trapped, leading to inflammation, severe pain, scar tissue, and cysts. This isn't just a bad period. It is a chronic, full-body inflammatory disease that can profoundly impact every aspect of a woman's life, from her career and relationships to her fundamental sense of self. For too long, this pain has been dismissed. We are told it's just part of being a woman. We're taught to endure, to quiet our complaints, and to push through the agony. I know this story because I lived it. For years, my own pain was a mystery, a monthly torment that doctors couldn't explain. They offered painkillers and platitudes, but no real answers. This experience is tragically common. It can take, on average, 7 to 10 years to get a proper diagnosis. A decade of suffering, a decade of being told your pain isn't real. This gaslighting takes a toll not just on our bodies, but on our minds, making us question our own reality. The physical symptoms are relentless and varied. It's not just crippling menstrual cramps. It can be chronic pelvic pain, painful intercourse, debilitating fatigue, and severe gastrointestinal issues often misdiagnosed as IBS. Imagine planning your life around your menstrual cycle, knowing that for a week or more, you might be unable to stand up straight, go to work, or even leave your bed. This is the reality for so many. The disease dictates your schedule, your energy, and your capacity for joy. It's a constant battle against your own body, a fight that leaves you exhausted and feeling utterly alone in your struggle. The emotional weight of this invisible illness is just as heavy as the physical pain. Living with chronic pain erodes your confidence and mental well-being. It can lead to anxiety and depression as you navigate a world that doesn't understand your condition. You learn to wear a mask, to pretend you are fine when you are crumbling inside. You cancel plans, miss important events, and watch your social circle shrink because you simply don't have the energy to participate. This isolation is one of the cruelest parts of endometriosis. It makes you feel like an island, separated from the mainland of normal life by a sea of pain and misunderstanding. The journey with endometriosis is deeply personal, yet its challenges resonate across cultures and communities. Take Maria, a Latina woman from Los Angeles. She grew up in a culture where women are expected to be strong and stoic. Her mother and aunts taught her that period pain was a woman's cross to bear. When her pain became so severe that she fainted at work, she was told she was being dramatic. It wasn't until she found a culturally competent doctor who listened without judgment that she finally received a diagnosis at age 28. Her story highlights the cultural barriers that can silence women and delay critical medical care, adding layers of guilt to an already painful condition. Then there is Keisha, a Black woman from Atlanta. She faced a different but equally damaging set of obstacles within the healthcare system. Studies have shown that Black women's pain is often undertreated and dismissed. For years, Keisha was told she likely had fibroids or a sexually transmitted infection, despite her protests. The implicit bias she encountered meant her symptoms were not taken seriously. It was only after she advocated fiercely for herself, armed with her own research and refusing to be dismissed, that a specialist finally performed the laparoscopy that confirmed severe endometriosis. Her journey is a testament to the systemic racism that prevents Black women from receiving timely and adequate health care. In the Asian community, discussions about reproductive health can be deeply private and stigmatized. Ananya, a South Asian woman living in London, felt immense pressure to marry and start a family. She hid her debilitating pain for years, fearing that a diagnosis of endometriosis would make her seem flawed or less desirable as a partner. She drank herbal teas and suffered in silence, worried about bringing shame to her family. Her story reveals how cultural expectations and the fear of judgment can force women into isolation, preventing them from seeking the help they desperately need and deserve. The silence surrounding women's health is a powerful cage. These stories, while unique, are woven together by a common thread of pain, confusion, and a desperate search for validation. Whether shaped by cultural stoicism, systemic bias, or societal stigma, the result is the same. Women suffer needlessly for years. Their pain is invalidated, their health is compromised, and their dreams are put on hold. These are not isolated incidents. They are reflections of a global health crisis that has ignored women's pain for far too long. Recognizing these diverse experiences is the first step toward building a more equitable and compassionate healthcare system for every single woman, regardless of her background. For many women with endometriosis, the desire to have a child marks the beginning of a new, heart-wrenching chapter in their journey. The very disease that causes them so much physical pain can also create a formidable barrier to conception. The inflammation and scar tissue caused by endometriosis can damage fallopian tubes, distort the anatomy of the pelvis, and create a toxic environment for an embryo. Suddenly, the private battle with pain becomes a public and emotionally fraught quest for parenthood. Each month becomes a cycle of hope and despair, a roller coaster of timed intercourse, ovulation kits, and pregnancy tests that seem to mock your deepest wish. The path to conception is often a clinical and invasive labyrinth. It involves countless doctor's appointments, invasive transvaginal ultrasounds, and a dizzying array of hormonal treatments. For women with endometriosis, intercourse can already be painful. Trying to conceive can turn the most intimate act into a clinical, painful chore. Then comes the world of fertility treatments, IUI, IVF, which bring their own set of physical and emotional challenges. The hormone injections can trigger endometriosis flare-ups, amplifying the pain you are already trying to manage. It feels like a cruel paradox. The treatment meant to help you build a family can make your underlying disease feel so much worse. The emotional toll is immense and can strain even the strongest relationships. The constant cycle of hope and disappointment is exhausting. You watch as friends and family members announce their pregnancies with what seems like effortless ease. And while you are happy for them, a part of you breaks a little more each time. It can be incredibly isolating. You feel like your body has betrayed you, and you may grapple with feelings of failure, jealousy, and profound sadness. Explaining this complex grief to a partner, friends, or family who don't understand the intricacies of endometriosis and infertility can feel like an impossible task, deepening the sense of being alone. Navigating the healthcare system adds another layer of stress. Finding a specialist who is knowledgeable about both endometriosis and fertility is a challenge in itself. You become your own advocate, spending hours researching, seeking second opinions, and fighting for the right treatment plan. The financial burden can be staggering, as many fertility treatments are not covered by insurance, adding a heavy weight of financial stress to an already emotionally charged situation. This journey is not just a medical process. It is a test of endurance, a marathon of the body, mind, and spirit that requires unimaginable strength. In the face of such profound challenges, hope can feel like a distant shore. Yet, it is in the darkest moments that the human spirit often shines brightest. For many women with endometriosis, hope is not a passive feeling, but an active choice, forged in the fires of pain and uncertainty. It is found in the small victories, a day with less pain, a doctor who truly listens, a treatment that brings relief. Hope is nurtured through knowledge. By understanding this complex disease, we reclaim a sense of control. We learn about anti-inflammatory diets, pelvic floor physical therapy, and surgical options like excision surgery, empowering ourselves to make informed decisions about our bodies. Community is a powerful antidote to the isolation that endometriosis breeds. Finding your tribe, whether in a local support group or an online forum, is life-changing. Suddenly, you are no longer alone. You are surrounded by other women who get it. They understand the language of your pain, the frustration of being dismissed, and the unique grief of infertility. In these spaces, stories are shared, advice is given, and shoulders are offered to cry on. This shared vulnerability creates an unbreakable bond, a sisterhood of warriors who lift each other up and remind one another that they are not broken. This connection is a lifeline. Support also comes from compassionate medical professionals who see us as whole people, not just a collection of symptoms. A good doctor, a skilled surgeon, or a caring therapist can make all the difference. They validate our pain, partner with us in our care, and guide us through the complex decisions about treatment and fertility. They offer not just medical expertise, but also empathy and encouragement. Finding this kind of care can be a long search, but it is a crucial part of the healing journey. It helps rebuild the trust that was broken by years of medical dismissal and restores faith in the possibility of a better future. To every woman with endometriosis who dreams of starting a family, your journey is valid, your pain is real, and your strength is extraordinary. You are a warrior. The path may be longer and more difficult than you ever imagined, filled with setbacks and moments of despair. But do not lose hope. Lean on your community, advocate for your health, and be gentle with yourself. Your worth is not defined by your diagnosis or your ability to conceive. It is defined by your resilience, your courage, and your unwavering spirit. You are so much stronger than you know, and you are not walking this path alone.